Ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed an electrifying edge-of-your-seat, heart-stopping, oh wait, never mind, it was Arsenal versus Chelsea in 2025, so it was actually a 1-0 game that had all the excitement of a PowerPoint presentation. But hey, Arsenal fans, don't complain. After 4 games without a win, your club finally remembered what 3 points feel like. Chelsea fans, I hope you're doing okay. Just know that if you ever feel down, at least you're not the guy who had to watch his team register an XG of 0.35 and call it an attacking performance. So, what happened? How did Arsenal stumble their way to victory while Chelsea forgot how to shoot? And most importantly, why does this fixture keep producing the football equivalent of watching paint dry? Let's break it down. 1. The match recap. Tactical masterclass or caffeine. Free football. So, Arsenal won 1-0 thanks to a Mikel Merino header in the 20th minute. And when I say thanks to, I really mean that was the only moment where something actually happened. Martin Odegaard whipped in a corner, Merino got his head on it, and boom, goal. You'd think Chelsea would respond with some urgency, right? Nope. Instead, they played the next 70 minutes like they were contractually obligated to pass sideways. Chelsea had 59.1% possession but did absolutely nothing with it. It's like having the aux cord at a party but only playing lofi beats to relax to. Arsenal's defense looked solid, mainly because Chelsea's attackers played like they were afraid of the goal. David Raya had 2 saves all game, that's it. He probably spent more time wondering what to have for dinner than worrying about Chelsea's shots. Arsenal had 12 shot attempts, Chelsea had 8. If you watched the match expecting goal mouth action, I hope you enjoyed disappointment. At one point, Marc Cucurella had Chelsea's best chance but missed a volley from 6 yards. Somewhere, a Chelsea fan punched their couch in frustration and mumbled, "Bring back Diego Costa." If this match had a personality, it would be that one colleague at work who shows up, does the bare minimum, and still somehow gets Employee of the Month. Arsenal barely had to break a sweat after scoring, while Chelsea's attack looked like they were playing with their controller batteries dying. Enzo Fernandez, Sancho, and Kunku spent more time passing the ball in triangles than actually attempting to score, making Arsenal's defenders look like prime Maldini and Nesta without even trying. If anyone was waiting for a last-minute thriller, sorry, this game clocked out early and left us all staring at our screens wondering why we wasted 90 minutes. 2. Arsenal fans, celebrating the win. Barely. Now, Arsenal fans, let's talk. You won the game, you should be happy, but from what I'm seeing online, most of you sound like someone who passed an exam with 51%. It's a win, sure, but was it good? That's debatable. Arsenal fans on Twitter, or 10, whatever Elon's calling it now, are saying things like, a win is a win, but that was hard to watch. You know it's bad when your own fans are struggling to celebrate. Mikel Merino is getting some love for his goal, but Odegaard, Arsenal fans say he disappeared after the assist. Maybe he was following Chelsea's example and just ghosting the game entirely. Arsenal dominated Chelsea at home for the 3rd time in a row. That's great. But being 12 points behind Liverpool? Not so great. The Gunners needed this win to stay technically in the title race. But let's be honest, chasing Liverpool is like chasing a bus that left 15 minutes ago. Even Arsenal's biggest optimists are struggling to hype this one up. Some fans are calling it a gritty win. Others are calling it unbearably boring, which, fun fact, is also how people describe a slow internet connection. It's as if Arsenal players themselves realized mid-game that winning this match wouldn't change the fact that Liverpool is miles ahead, so they just settled into let's not embarrass ourselves mode. The biggest post-match debate wasn't even about tactics, it was whether Arsenal's performance deserved 3 points, or if football should introduce a new rule where boring wins only get 1.5. 3. Chelsea fans, a therapy session in the making. Chelsea fans, I'm sending thoughts and prayers. 3 years without beating Arsenal in the league? That's gotta hurt. Chelsea fans woke up thinking, maybe today's the day we beat Arsenal. 90 minutes later, they were Googling how to recover from football heartbreak. The biggest talking point, Chelsea's attack was so bad it made Arsenal's defense look like peak Maldini and Cannavaro. The absence of Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson was felt like an empty fridge at midnight, nothing there, just sadness. Chelsea had 59.1% possession, 8 shots, and an XG of 0.35. For context, that's lower than Arsenal's marketing team's chances of convincing fans they're still in the title race. Even with Enzo Fernandez, Jadon Sancho, and Christopher Nkunku on the pitch, Chelsea still couldn't figure out how to break down Arsenal's defense. I guess Pochettino left his attacking football handbook at home. At this point, Chelsea fans aren't even mad, they're just exhausted. The team is playing like it's legally required to make every game as frustrating as possible. The post-match reactions were basically a mix of "we miss Drogba" and "what even is our game plan?" Which, to be fair, is a valid question. Enzo Maresca set up a team that dominated possession but treated the goal like it had a "do not enter" sign. If Chelsea's attack was any more lost, it would need a search and rescue mission. 4. genius of both teams. Mikel Arteta's strategy: score early and then spend the rest of the game defending like a dad protecting his remote control from his kids. Enzo Maresca's plan: hold possession, pass sideways, and hope Arsenal falls asleep. Spoiler, they didn't. Arteta's game management was simple: score and hope Chelsea doesn't realize they can attack. Genius. Maresca's halftime talk must have been, keep passing boys, they'll get bored and let us through. Nope. At one point, Chelsea's attack looked so lost I thought they were waiting for Google Maps to reroute them to the goal. Both managers will pretend they're happy with the performance. But let's be real, if you watched that match at 2 a.m., you'd be asleep by halftime. The tactical battle in this match was like watching two chess players who only know how to move pawns. Arteta set up Arsenal to strike early and then spend 70 minutes defending like their lives depended on it. Meanwhile, Maresca's Chelsea pressed high, controlled possession, and then absolutely nothing. It was like watching someone spend 90 minutes building IKEA furniture only to realize they lost the screws. In the end, Arteta's park the bus approach outclassed Chelsea's drive in circles and hope for the best philosophy. 4. The tactical genius of both teams. Mikel Arteta's strategy: score early and then spend the rest of the game defending like a dad protecting his remote control from his kids. Enzo Maresca's plan: hold possession, pass sideways, and hope Arsenal falls asleep. Spoiler, they didn't. Arteta's game management was simple: score and hope Chelsea doesn't realize they can attack. Genius. Maresca's halftime talk must have been, keep passing boys, they'll get bored and let us through. Nope. At one point, Chelsea's attack looked so lost I thought they were waiting for Google Maps to reroute them to the goal. Both managers will pretend they're happy with the performance. But let's be real, if you watched that match at 2 a.m., you'd be asleep by halftime. The tactical battle in this match was like watching two chess players who only know how to move pawns. Arteta set up Arsenal to strike early and then spend 70 minutes defending like their lives depended on it. Meanwhile, Maresca's Chelsea pressed high, controlled possession, and then absolutely nothing. It was like watching someone spend 90 minutes building IKEA furniture only to realize they lost the screws. In the end, Arteta's park the bus approach outclassed Chelsea's drive in circles and hope for the best philosophy. 5. The history books. Arsenal's streak continues, Chelsea's pain grows. This win means Arsenal has beaten Chelsea at home 3 times in a row for the first time since 2004. That was the invincible season. And no, Arsenal fans, this does not mean you're going invincible again. Meanwhile, Chelsea is now winless in 7 away games. That's not a losing streak, that's a lifestyle choice. Chelsea hasn't won at the Emirates since 2022. At this point, Stamford Bridge should come with a sign that says, no winning allowed beyond these premises. Chelsea's XG, 0.35, was their lowest in any game under Maresca. If you didn't watch the game, just imagine trying to make tea without boiling water. That's Chelsea's attack. The match had 6 yellow cards but barely any drama. It was like a soap opera with no plot twists. Chelsea's away form is now so bad, their fans are starting to consider road trips as horror movie plots. 7 away games without a win, that's not just a slump. That's a full-blown identity crisis. At this point, they'd probably struggle to beat a 5-a-side team playing in flip-flops. Meanwhile, Arsenal's streak against Chelsea is starting to feel like a family tradition every year. Same script, same outcome. If Chelsea's boardroom still believes they're rebuilding, then someone should remind them that most construction projects actually show progress at some point. 6. What's next? Arsenal's fake title race and Chelsea's identity crisis. So, what's next? Arsenal moves to 58 points, still 12 behind Liverpool. It's the classic mathematically possible but realistically impossible situation. Chelsea stays in 4th, clinging to their Champions League hopes like a man hanging off a cliff in an action movie. Arsenal fans, enjoy the win, but let's not pretend you're catching Liverpool. That ship sailed, hit an iceberg and sank. Chelsea fans, your next away game is basically another test of patience. Maybe try shooting on target next time. If Chelsea's attack had been any weaker, it would have qualified for a government bailout. At this point, Arsenal winning the league is as likely as me winning the lottery. Technically possible, but don't bet on it. For Arsenal, the only thing keeping their title hopes alive is the sheer power of delusion. Sure, Liverpool could drop points, but expecting them to choke while Arsenal goes on a flawless run is like expecting a cat to start doing your taxes. Wishful thinking at best. Meanwhile, Chelsea's identity crisis is deeper than ever. Are they a rebuilding project? A top 4 contender? A group of highly paid tourists exploring different stadiums? Nobody knows. If Enzo Maresca doesn't figure it out soon, Chelsea's season might go from frustrating to downright existential. Closing thoughts. Arsenal win, Chelsea wobble, and we all survive. So, Arsenal fans, are you happy with the win, or was that too painful to watch? Chelsea fans, what's the solution? And neutrals, did you manage to stay awake? Let me know in the comments, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more football banter. And remember, if you ever feel bad about your decision-making skills, just know Chelsea had 59% possession and still couldn't score. See you next time.